Stormtroopers were the Empire's will across the galaxy and made up a huge portion of its military. However, they tended to disappoint when put up against many enemies. But why is this?
It's them. Blast them. Get back to the ship!
Certainly has courage.
So, Stormtroopers are the key infantry force used by the Imperial military. After Sidious became Emperor, he transformed the clone legions into Stormtroopers. However, these clones were phased out and replaced with mainly human Imperial citizens. Now, along with other reasons, Sidious did this simply because training troops was cheaper and quicker than cloning. Also, clones weren't what Sidious needed in his new order. You see, when the Empire was formed, it inherited a great deal of territory. Not only Republic, but Confederacy as well, and it was essential that the Empire made a foothold in the Separatist worlds before they had a chance to reorganise and oppose the takeover. That's not the only reason why Sidious needed troops in great numbers very quickly. He was going to turn what was ultimately a democratic galaxy into an autocratic dictatorship, and this was never going to go down well. But an essential part of running a dictatorship is maintaining a strong military presence. The Empire was run through fear, and fear only works if there's a constant reminder of who's in charge, and there's a fear of getting on the wrong side of it. And if there's constant soldiers everywhere, then rebellion is far less likely. So in order to keep a constant stream of troops, they needed quantity. People were enlisted to join and trained quickly, and quantity was far more important than quality altogether. Stormtroopers' main job was keeping the impression of overwhelming might. This is also evident in Imperial tactics and equipment. Their armour was made cheap, yet to look similar to the old Clone Wars era equipment. It was inferior, but ultimately gave the impression of strength. Stormtroopers' training was lacking because the objective wasn't to make hardened soldiers, it was to fill Imperial ranks as quick as possible. And this is totally different to the Clone Wars tactics, where clones were made to be superior to the enemy despite being outnumbered. And this isn't only evident with Stormtroopers. TIE fighters made up a huge portion of the everyday Imperial fleet, and they worked with swarm tactics, vastly outnumbering the enemy. However, TIE fighters themselves were shoddily made and mass-produced. Even Moff Tarkin expressed a fear of using one, referring to them as death traps. This ultimately highlights how the Empire had very little regard for human life. If one man fell in battle, someone else would take their place. And finally, Stormtroopers were expected to act more like enforcers. They mainly fought against untrained rioters, and therefore training was considerably unimportant. For this reason, when they went up against well-trained elite rebels or Clone Wars veterans, they were quick to fall. Ultimately, Stormtroopers played an essential part in eluding the galaxy into following Sidious's tyrannical rule. But what do you think of Stormtroopers? Clever deception or ill-trained cannon fodder? Thanks for watching, please like and sub for more content, and follow me on Twitter at The Lore Guy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.